So you're right, proactivity is key. And my first piece of advice for employers is do the work before you think you need to. The reason we created our trans inclusivity and accommodation policy and did all the work that we did around it was because we wanted to signal to our employees that we're committed to trans inclusion. But we also wanted to be ready. We wanted to ensure that we had thought through all the issues and that we had processes and supports in place to address the specific needs of trans individuals. We didn't want to be reacting in the moment if someone came forward and shared that they wanted to transition. And I really think it's when you do the work and create that safe and inclusive space for people to come forward that people will. And so when we talk about diversity and inclusion in the workplace, it's that inclusion that drives the diversity. It's not the other way around. And in fact, that's what happened for us about a year after we rolled out our policy and took the other steps, such as, firm-wide training, creating all gender washrooms, making changes to related policies, et cetera, that one of our firm members came forward and told us that he was transitioning. And he specifically stated that it was because of all the work that we had done that he was coming forward at that time. So, and I think when you do all the work, you also realize, you start to recognize that every transition is going to be different. So you want to build that flexibility into your policy. And we have successfully supported 2 transitions at BLG since we rolled out our policy, and neither have been the same. So you can create a framework, but you know that you will need to be directed by the person undergoing the transition. So our policy includes a few sections that start with if desired by, if the individual wishes. And we have one statement in our policy that I will read, and it says, each situation will be treated as unique in order to confer the greatest degree of respect possible upon the individual who is in the process of transitioning while working at BLG. And my second piece of advice is for employers to work with experts. We had the good fortune of having a partner at our firm by the name of Stephanie Young, who is a human rights lawyer. And so this fits perfectly in her area of expertise. So I recognize that not everybody has a human rights lawyer on staff, but there are also great resources in the community. And so we took advantage of our partnership with Pride at Work Canada and sought their advice as needed. We also worked with a consultant who had lived experience. And most importantly, we use the 519's Creating Authentic Spaces toolkit. And I can't recommend that toolkit highly enough. It was when Stephanie and I sat down and went through the checklists in the toolkit that we realized that in addition to changing many of our existing policies, there were really enough unique issues that we needed to create a standalone policy on trans inclusion and accommodation.